hold up, tell me what the hold up is. I'm a little spoiled, I'll be the first to admit it.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video is sponsored by Beam and he asked me to say that, so please don't ask. Anyways, in today's video, I'll be showing you how I improved my handwriting and how you can improve your handwriting too. I know that I already did this twice on my channel, but I was asked by Beam to do it again, despite that. I'll try to add more information than my last video in this video, but I'll also be covering what I talked about in the last video. Let's get started! So we're gonna start off with my handwriting journey, and my brother just started playing violin downstairs, so if you hear him, it's because he's playing violin. But just as a disclaimer before I say anything else, my handwriting story isn't really the same as a lot of other people on the internet or on YouTube. So like most people, they start in like high school or something, but for me, I started in first grade. So in first grade, my handwriting was really bad and my mom wanted me to fix it. And since I did most of my writing on the ground in an after-school camp thing, it tended to be very messy. My mom was shocked at the fact that I had to write on the ground, and so she told the teachers that she wouldn't let me write on the ground. So I was the only one writing on the table and trying to make my handwriting look much neater so that my mom would be happy. I guess the standard of neat was the same as my mom's, which is decently neat. Anyway, I worked my butt off in first grade trying to make my handwriting neat, and since I knew the consequences from failing to do that one day, it made me even more motivated. After a while, my handwriting did in fact improve, and the staff at the after-school camp made me go back on the ground. Of course, my mom was still mad at the teachers, but this time they didn't let me work at a desk anymore. I had to be equal with the rest of the people. But starting at this point, my handwriting started getting progressively better. So if I can find a picture of my handwriting in first grade before I even change anything, I'll show you guys right here on the screen. But if I can't, it's not going to appear on the screen and I'll probably just have a text saying, I can't find it. But here's a simple summary of my handwriting at this point in my life. It was readable, but still slightly messy. But the upside was that it didn't take that long to write. But then, a new student who transferred to my school came to my class. She had really neat handwriting. And when I say really neat, I mean like really neat, especially for first grade. And I really envied her, except for the fact that she took really long to write anything. But besides that, we became friends. And now I had real motivation to make my handwriting look better. Since we sat at the same table, so from across the desk, I just studied for her handwriting and tried my best to copy hers, and my handwriting looked more and more like hers, except that I wrote it fast, so I wrote just as neat as her, but faster. So I guess you could say that my handwriting was better than hers, but it was really basically just the same. It's around the end of the school year now, and for the next 3 years, I tried to improve my handwriting, but only based off of handwriting evolution, if that even exists. So I'll kind of explain what it is. Your handwriting doesn't stay the same throughout the whole entire year or your whole entire life. It changes, and that's what I call handwriting evolution. So actually, after first grade, I transferred to another school, and this time it was a gifted school, and I didn't know anyone. So just for context. In fourth grade, yet another student came to my class. Well, it was more like 6 new students, but that doesn't really matter. A few of these students instantly became popular, and just like the first time around, I wanted to be just like them and better. Out of these girls, there was one that stood out to me. It was as she was the leader like Dream is in the Dream Team. But her handwriting was so much better than mine. Again, I studied her handwriting and copied it to the best of my abilities until some of my friends said that my handwriting looked exactly like hers. I failed to get better than her, but I kept trying. The next year, we were in the same class again. This year, I ended up becoming friends with her, though it was kind of awkward. Since normal people's handwritings always change, her handwriting had changed since the year before. Like always, I copied it. Except this time, it was so much easier to copy because we were closer together physically. I also realized how her friend group was so encouraging, and how everyone always got good grades, and how they comforted anyone who couldn't get the highest marks. This video isn't about that, so I'm gonna move on from it. And I also had other friends in 5th grade, such as Anu, who had amazing handwriting. And she was also like the top student, which was amazing. but she still is the top student and she puts so much effort into her work. Shout out to Anu. By the way, she gave me permission to say her name in the video. I guess in 6th grade I also tried to copy this popular girl's handwriting, but we didn't share any classes, so it made it very hard. Around this time though, I discovered StudyTube and StudyGram. This completely changed my life and made it so my notes and handwriting looked so much neater and prettier. I also decided to start making study videos during this time. Even though they were really bad, I still tried. I guess that's where my handwriting story ends, and I'll go more in depth to how my handwriting completely changed in 6th grade, from your average neat handwriting to handwriting that looked like it was printed. Well, it still looks like it was printed, I guess. Now that finally I have shared my handwriting journey, I can finally move on to how you can improve your handwriting. There are many methods, and today I'm going to be sharing 2 of them. One method is one I found on Procrastinate Create's channel, and the other one I found on StudyT's channel. Both links will be in the description. Both of these methods helped me a lot last year in 6th grade on my journey to having neat handwriting. We're going to start with the method that I discovered on Procrastinate Create's channel. I did follow this method completely, so when I say I did, I'm not lying, because I did in fact use this method to improve my handwriting. The first thing I did was find inspiration for my new handwriting. I like to go on the StudyGram hashtag on Instagram or some StudyTubers pages. I recommend StudyQuill as one of the accounts, and I will link it in the description. I found a lot of these StudyGrammers didn't connect their letters, and connecting letters was a common thing I did to speed up the writing process. The next thing I did following this was analyze my own handwriting. Not only did I notice that I connected my letters, but I also found that when I did that, my handwriting looked much messier and it was often harder to read. I also didn't like how my Y's and my G's looked, and they were very inconsistent. Sometimes I looped them, and sometimes I just had a straight line under them, and sometimes I did a curve but no loop. The inconsistentness made my handwriting look really unorganized. There were only a few things that were bad in my handwriting for me because of all the years I tried to make it look pretty in the past, but this might not be the same with you. So if you're trying to follow along with this method, look through your notes and find what you don't like at all. I think that analyzing your own handwriting will cut down a lot of time when trying to improve your handwriting because you've already narrowed down the things that you need to change to just a few. Okay, so at this point I moved on for this method and went to a different method that I will explain later, but I will continue this method for you if you want to follow through. All you need to do is find the letters that you want to change and change them to what you want them to be like. And make sure when you're writing you're conscious that you want these changes to be made, or it'll be no use. The second method I used was one I found on StudyT's channel. Again, the link is in the description of this video if you want to check her original video out. So the first thing I did when starting on my handwriting journey following this video, I went to dafont.com and found a pretty cool handwriting font called Please Write Me a Song. I love this font because it seemed really doable and it reminded me of the handwritings of many other StudyTubers and StudyGrammers. All I did was trace it onto a paper and use that paper as reference. I didn't directly trace the handwriting to learn it because I thought that my handwriting was already very similar and wanted to have my own original handwriting. StudyT's method also included making changes to the font like the other video, so I chose to do that and I changed my Z's. Now that I knew what I wanted my handwriting to look like, it was time to practice. I wrote every letter and number at least once a day to improve it, and eventually my handwriting started looking more and more like the font naturally. So now you know what I did to improve my handwriting. A few more things I think you should know are that the pen you use affects your handwriting. I find that the 0.7mm pen is best for me, though it also looks pretty good in pencil. I also prefer gel pen over ballpoint pen because I think it writes smoother. If you like ballpoint pen more, don't switch over to gel pen just because a lot of StudyTubers and StudyGrammers use it. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and share this video with more people. Sharing helps more people get exposed to my channel so that it can grow. If you haven't found the information you wanted in this video, you might be able to find it in my other videos that I did on the same topic. I'll put the links in the description so that you guys can watch them. I really still can't believe that I have over 100 subscribers, so I want to thank you guys for that again, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!
I'm not used to laying low about my feelings. Tell the world or write a book when I'm finished. I should thank your mama, yeah. Look at what she made. Sweating you so badly, I'm inside.